Good morning, students. Today we are going to see about the lesson public and private sector. Now we see public sector is the part of an economy that is controlled by the state is called public sector, and private sector is the part of an economy that is run by individuals and companies for profit and is not state controlled. In this lesson, we are going to know the history of public sector and to know the various indicators of socio-economy development and to understand the importance of public sector and appreciate the difference between public and private sectors, to understand the functions of private sector. These are the objectives we have in this lesson. In this slide, what is public sector? The part of an economy that is controlled by the state, that is, public sectors include public goods and governmental services like military, law enforcement, infrastructure, that means public roads, bridges, tunnels, water supply, telecommunication, etc. These are all under the public sectors. And the next one is private sector. The private sector is a part of an economy that is run by individuals and companies for profit and is not state controlled. That is, it encompasses all for profit business that are not owned or operated by the government. Let's see the introduction. India was basically an agrarian economy with a weak industrial base at the time of independence. There were high level of poverty, illiteracy and unemployment in the country. India experienced very poor economic and social overhead. So, what is the line means? India is basically agrarian economy. Agrarian means an economy based on agricultural activity, that is called as agrarian activities. So, India is experiencing high level of poverty, illiteracy. Illiteracy means lack of education and unemployment means lack of unemployment. There are these things prevailing in our country. So, India had many experienced and very poor economy and also social things. So, what happened? We should play a good game in developing the country. So, India took the socialistic line, and so many countries have a communist line. They have like one leader only. We took the socialist like such as democratic country. It is principally for these reasons that the state had to play an extensive role in the developing country. So the India conceived to have the Indian economy on socialist line. So our Indian followed a mixed economy. So there will be a two economic system usually in the country, that is a private economy or public economy. But India had mixed economy, that is it is both private enterprises and also included public enterprises. Next one is public and private sector. There are all kinds of business organizations, small or large, industrial or trading, private owned or government owned in our country. These organizations affect in our daily economic life and therefore become part of the Indian economy. Since the Indian economy consists of both private owned and government owned business enterprises, it is known as mixed economy. So the present economy structure of India economy is called as mixed economy. That means where there is a coexistence of both the public sector and private sector. So all the different types of industries are divided between these two sectors. And now we see the chart. Indian economy. The economy of India is categorized as a middle income developing market economy. And under that we have two sectors, that is public sector and private sector. Now we see public sector. Public sector include public goods, that is governmental service such as military, infrastructure, that is public roads, bridges, tunnels, water supplies and telecommunications, etc. Under that we have three categories. First one is departmental undertaking. This is it is the oldest and traditional form of an organization of the public sector. It is organized, financed and controlled in such a manner that any other government organizations. The undertaking is under the control of a minister who is responsible to the parliament. And the next one is statutory corporation. Statutory corporation or body cooperates formed by a special act of parliament or by the central or state legislative. It is fully financed by the government. Its powers, objectives, limitations are also decided by the act of the legislators. And the next one is government companies. A government company is a company in which the government or state government holds 51% or more the paid up capital. Government company also called public enterprises, state enterprises. It works as other companies registered under the Companies Act. And now we see private sector. A private sector is a part of the economy that is run by the individuals and companies for profit and is not state controlled. Coming under the, we have 6 categories. Now we see what are they. First one is sole proprietorship, that is simplest business form under which one can operate a business. The sole proprietorship is not a legal entity. It simply refers to a person who owns the business and is personally responsible for its steps. And the next one is partnership. A partnership is a formal arrangement by two or more parties to manage and operate a business and share its profits. There are several types of partnership arrangements, and it is a particular in a partnership business or also partner share liabilities and profit equal, while in others partners have limited liability. And next one is joint Hindu family. It consists of a common and all is male descendants up to any generation together with the wife or wives and unmarried daughters of the common and of the lineal male descendants. And the next one is cooperative sector. Industries are owned and managed by a group of people. Generally, the members are the producers of raw materials. For example, of such industries are food processing and dairy products. Amul is a example of cooperative sector society. And then another one is company. Under the company we have two category, that is public and private. The term industry and sectors are often used interchangeable to describe a group of companies that operate in the same segment of the economy or shares a similar business type. The term sector often refers to a large general part of the economy, while the word industry is much more specific. And the next one is multinational corporation. It is usually a large corporation incorporated in one country which produce or sell goods or services in various countries. The two main characteristics of MNCs are their large size and the fact that their worldwide activities are generally controlled by the parent companies. Let's see the definition of public sector. The sector which is engaged in the activity of providing government goods and services to the general public is known as public sector. The enterprises, agencies and bodies are fully owned, controlled and run by the government, whether it is central government, state government or a local government. Now we see the history of public sector. When India achieved independence in 1947, it was primarily an agricultural country with a weak industrial base. There were only 18 Indian ordnance factories in the country, which the British had established for their own economic interest and ruled the subcontinent with the brute force. The national consensus was in favor of rapid industrialization of the economy, which was seen as a key to economic development, improving living standard and economic sovereignty. Building upon the Bombay Plan 1940, which noted the requirement of government intervention and regulation, the first industrial policy resolution announced in 1948 laid down broad contours of the strategy of industrial development. Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru promoted an economic policy based on import substitution, industrialization, and advocated a mixed economic system. He believed that the establishment of basic and heavy industry was fundamental to the development and modernization of the Indian economy. India's second five-year plan 1960 and the industrial policy revolution of 1956 emphasized the development of public sector enterprises to meet Nehru's national industrialization policy. The 1991 industrial policy was radically different from all the earlier policies where the government was deliberating disinvestment of public sector and allowing greater freedom to the private sector. Let's see the objectives of public sector. Some of the important objectives are removal of poverty, attainment of self-reliance, reduction in income inequalities, expansion of employment opportunities, removal of regional imbalance, acceleration of economic development and reduction of concentration of economic power. Now we see the objectives. To promote rapid economic development through creation and expansion of infrastructure. That means in a developing country like India, some industries need to be brought within public ownership and control in order to achieve rapid economic growth. And the second one is to generate financial resources for development. And another one is to promote redistribution of income and wealth. That is heavy industry strategy called for a pattern of resources allocation, that is expansion of public sector. And the fourth one is to create employment opportunities. The expansion of public sector creates the employment opportunity. And the fifth one is to promote balanced regional growth. Promotion of balanced regional development is public enterprises of the central government are to be set up in those regions which are underdeveloped and where local resources are not adequate. And the next one is to encourage the development of small scale and ancillary industries and to accelerate export promotion and import substitutions. That is by the public expansion, public sector expansion is employment growth as well as the promotion of small and ancillaries industries called be achieved. Let's see the public sector organization. There are two types of public sector organization, that is either the government fully finances them through the revenues they raise by collection, taxes, duties, fees, etc. The government holds more than 51% of the total share capital of the company, which comes under various ministries. The enterprises are established with service motive. It is the largest sector which works for the upliftment of the people by providing the services to the people, that is postal service, railway service, providing security, education and health facilities at lower cost and generation of employment opportunities, etc. Organs of public sector. Administration by a government department, it is very common almost in all country. For example, post, telegraph, railways, port and irrigation projects. And the next one is the joint sector companies. It is governed by a company, law and controlled by the government as principal major shareholders. For example, Indian Oil Sky Tanking Limited. And the last one is public corporation. This type of organization is the establishment of public corporation by the state of the Parliament of legislation. For example, LIC, Air Force, the Reserve Bank of India, Electricity Board. Let's see the classification of industries. The public sector in India owes its origin in the 1956 Industrial Policy Resolution of the Government of India. This 1956 resolution classified into three categories: the industries which could be exclusively owned by the state or refers to as Schedule A. The industries in which the private sector could supplement the efforts of the state sector, with the state taking the sole responsibility for starting new units which are specific in Schedule B. The remaining industries which were in the private sector are mentioned in Schedule C. Let's see the 9 categories of public sector. Public sector enterprises must supply essential infrastructure for economic development, which are known as primary public utilities, which included the following, that is airline, shipping, railways, power generation, telecommunication, etc. And the second one is defense. Public sector enterprises also to have control of the commanding heights of the economy. For example, defense, banks, oil, steels, etc. And the third one is heavy engineering. There are to play an entrepreneurial role, which is in other hand called capital incentive industries. For example, iron, ore, petrochemicals, fertilizers, shipping, building, it is also are included in heavy engine. And the fourth one is railway. Public sector enterprises under government monopoly, which includes telecommunication equipment, defense production, railway, rolling stock, etc. And fifth one is atomic energy. Public sector enterprises which are exclusively meant for high technology industries, for example atomic energy. And the next one is drugs. Consumer oriented public sector undertaking, for example drugs, paper, hotels, etc. And the next one is textiles. Public sector enterprises which is set up in order to take over the sick private units, that is textiles. Next one is Food Corporation of India, which are set up as trade corporation, for example Food Corporation sector. And the last one is Mecon Private Limited, which serve as a consultancy and engineering service, etc. Let's see socio-economic development. Socio-economic development is the process of social and economic development in the society. Socio-economic development is measured with indicators such as GDP, life expectancy, and level of income. The new think tank and Niti Aayog can form a suitable platform in integrating the social sector initiative of the center, state and the local bodies. Niti Aayog, National Institution for Transforming India. Niti Aayog replaced 65 years old Planning Commission. That Planning Commission has power to allocate funds to ministries and states. This function will be now at Finance Ministry. Let's see indicators of socio-economic development. First one is gross domestic product, that is GDP. GDP supports in developing socio-economic development. The proportion of GDP by the industrial sector, both private and public sector, has been increased. It results increasing government funds and increasing public spending. And the second one is life expectancy. According to 2001 census of India, life expectancy in India is 65.80 years for men and 68.33 years for women. The government provides high degree of health measures through various programs. The government announced in the Union Budget, that is 2018 to 19, the National Health Protection Scheme NHPS to serve poor and vulnerable families. And next one is literacy. Educational skill plays a vital role in the socio-economic development. Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan is Government of India's flagship program. It is implemented for making free and compulsory education to all the children of 6 to 14 years with the life skills. The government also introduced RMSA, that is Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, smart class, e-learning, free computer skills classes and eco-friendly studying environment, Digital India for increasing the level of quality in education. And the next one is employment. There is a clear shift in employment to secondary and tertiary sector from the primary sector. A growing number of people moved urban areas in search for employment. It increased urban population, hence government started the Smart City scheme, which provides the city with many facilities like hospitals, schools, housing facilities and shopping centers. To promote rural and backward areas in terms of employment, the government encourages private sector to start an industries in backward areas by providing tax benefit, electricity at the lower tariff, etc. It removes regional inequalities. And the last one is provision of house, clean drinking water and sanitation. Government sector provides housing facilities, clean drinking water facilities and sanitary facilities under Clean India planning. Providing clean water and sanitary facilities overcome disease and malnutrition. By providing these facilities, the life cycle of the people increases. And in this slide, we have to learn about the importance of public sector. Public sector plays a major role in the development of any economy. First one is public sector and capital formation. The role of the public sector in collecting, saving and investing them during the planning period has been very important. And another one is economic development. Economic development mainly depends upon industrial development. Heavy and basic industries like iron and steel, shipping, mining, etc. are required for supplying raw materials to small industries. And third one is balanced regional development. Public sector undertaking have located their plants in backward parts of the country. These areas lacked basic industrial and civics facilities like electricity, water supply, township and manpower. Public enterprises have developed these facilities, thereby bringing about complete transformation in the socio-economic life of the people in these regions. And the next one is employment generation. Public sector has created millions of jobs to tackle the unemployment problem in the country. The number of persons employed during the year 2011 was 150 lakh. Public sector has also contributed a lot towards the improvement of working and living condition of workers by serving as a model employer. And fifth one is export promotion and foreign exchange earning. Some public enterprises have done much to promote India's export. State Drink Corporation, the Minerals and Metal Trading Corporation, Hindustan Steel Limited and Bharat Electronic Limited, the Hindustan Machines Tools, etc. have done very well in export promotions. And the sixth one is protection to Sikh industries. Public sector to prevent sick uni-closing towns take over their responsibility and prevent many people from getting unemployed. Not only this, but it prevents unnecessary locking of capital, land, building, machineries, etc. And seventh one is import substitutions. Some public sector enterprises were started specifically to produce goods which were formerly imported, and thus to save foreign exchange. The Oil and Natural Gas Commission, the Indian Oil Corporation Limited, the Bharat Electronic Private Limited, etc., have saved foreign exchange by way of import substitutions. Let's see the difference between public sector and private sector. The public sector and private sector work together for developing the country. They have different goals and motives. Let's see what are they. Public sector. Ownership of industries is with government. Private sector. Ownership of industries with private individuals. Public revenue depends upon levy of taxes on income and commodities and services, issuing shares and debentures or by taking loan. Public sector ensures the proper wage. Private sector exploits the workers. It does not allow to concentrate huge wealth in few hands or rich people. It allows concentration of huge wealth in few hands or rich people. Public sector industries, for example, NLC, SAIL, BSNL. Private sector industries, for example, TVS Motors, Ashok Leyland, Tata Steel. No tax evasion. Tax evasion is possible. It is service oriented. It is purely profit oriented. Reservation or implemented property priority is given to the socially backward people. It does not care the socially backward class. Reservation is not allowed. Let's see the definition of private sector. The segment of a national economy that is owned, controlled and managed by private individuals or enterprises is known as private sector. The private sector companies are divided on the basis of sizes, which are privately or publicly traded organizations. They can be created in two ways, that is, either by formation of a new enterprises or by the privatization of any public sector enterprises. And the next one is major private companies. Infosys, Aditya Birla Company, Reliance Industrial Companies, Tata Group of Companies, Wipro Limited, Hindustan Unilever Limited, ICICI Bank Limited. The private sector is a part of country's economic system that is run by individuals and companies rather than the government. Even the vast expansion of public sector, the contribution of the private sector continued to be very large. This was due to the development of medium, small and very small or micro industries. Let's see the functions of private sector. In India, being a mixed economy, has assigned a great importance on the private sector of the country for attaining rapid economic development. The most dominant sector of the India, that is agriculture and other allied activities like dairying, animal husbandry, poultry, etc., is totally under the control of private sector. Moreover, the major portion of the industrial sector engaged in the non-strategic and light areas producing various consumer goods, both durable and non-durable electronics and electrical goods, automobiles, textiles, chemicals, food products, light in goods, etc. is also under the control of the private sector. The main function of private sector is to create innovations and modernization. The profit motive drives them to invent, innovate new techniques of production and manage the productive activities in a scientific manner. Develop and maintain infrastructure and services to promote and expand existing business. Promote human capital development to help vulnerable group, especially to participate in the labor market and encourage community development by promoting community business and cooperative, local exchange system and informal credit, etc. And to promote small, micro and medium enterprises through supply side measure and demand side measure and attract investment in the city. Okay, thank you students. Today the public sector and the private sector are allotted their respective roles in promoting the economic welfare of all sections of the community, and also to learn about the sector which is engaged in the activities of providing government goods and services to general public is known as public sector, and also learn about socio-economic development is the process of social and economic development in a society. Thank you students.